OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT, recently released GPTs, and they're an absolute game changer, as you'll now be able to create custom versions of ChatGPT that combine instructions, extra knowledge, and any combination of skills. The limitless use of custom GPTs can include building your own creative writing coach, tech advisor, or even study buddy. So let's dive right into how you can start creating your own GPTs. Open up ChatGPT by heading over to chat.openai.com. ChatGPT recently got an updated interface, so just make sure you're using the latest ChatGPT model by selecting it in the top left corner. Just a note, you will need a ChatGPT Plus or Enterprise subscription to use all these features, and you can see what plan you're currently on by heading over to the My Plan section. Also, this seems to vary from account to account, but if you are on a paid plan and can't find the features we'll be discussing today, then head over to Settings, Beta Features, and make sure that plugins and advanced data analysis are enabled. To create and access custom GPTs, head over to the Explore page. Here, you'll be able to see the GPTs you created, recently used ones, or those made by OpenAI. Just a note, there's a very high chance this page will be very different in the near future once OpenAI rolls out the GPT store, but until then, this will be your home for all your custom GPTs. To start, let's build a simple GPT. Our use case will be to build a helpful GPT that can give an actionable marketing plan to someone that's starting their own online store. A marketing plan tends to involve many steps and encompasses a wide range of activities, which could be overwhelming for someone getting started with their business. So the goal of our GPT will be to help our e-commerce founder come up with a digestible plan that they can then further develop over time. So click Create a GPT. Note at this time it is still in beta, so you may run into a couple hiccups as you build your own custom GPTs. This is the GPT Builder. On the left pane is where you'll be able to create your own GPT through a normal conversation with the builder. On the right side is the preview pane, where we'll be seeing our very own GPT come to life, and where we'll also be able to test it out as we're creating it. Once we get our GPT to a good starting place, we're going to head over to the Configure tab to really go under the hood and further customize our GPT. Okay, let's start building. First, I'll let the GPT Builder know I'd like to make a thoughtful and practical marketer that excels at creating concise but highly actionable marketing plans for founders starting their own e-commerce store. With every message or prompt you give it, you may see an updating GPT icon for about 30 seconds as it configures itself in the background. Okay, so great choice. How about we name this GPT Market Maven? Does that resonate with you for a marketing expert, or do you have another name in mind? And you know what? That's a pretty decent name. Let's go with that. Next, it's going to generate a profile picture for our GPT Builder. Okay, so here's the initial profile picture for Market Maven. Do you like it as is, or would you like to make any changes? I'd say yes, let's make some changes. Let's ask the builder to make the logo a team of people instead. And let's see what it gives next. You know what? This version actually works. And then the builder goes on to ask me if this represents Market Maven well, which I think in this case, it actually does. So now we have our name and logo solidified, and now the builder is going to go into the details of what sort of tone and language it would like our GPT to use when it's interacting with our users. And for this, I'd say business owners are usually very stressed, so let's go with a casual and friendly tone, just to give them something a little good in their day. So now the GPT Builder is wondering what sort of advice we'd like Market Maven to share or prioritize, as for example, e-commerce itself is a pretty broad area. So let's get it to focus on optimizing one's website and search presence. Now, as we're building our custom GPT, you'll also notice that in the preview pane, it's already started to populate some conversation starters. These are very changeable, and we'll see how to do just that in a minute. For now, the builder would like to see whether we'd want our GPT to ask someone for further clarification questions so it can give a more relevant answer, or if it should keep things a bit more general. I'd say let's get it to ask for clarity. Now, the builder is wondering whether it should maintain a professional sort of appearance or be more engaging, just as if it was someone on your own team. I find when brainstorming, it is nice to get that conversational tone just to get the ideas flowing. So let's tell it to be engaging. And there you have it. The basics for Market Maven are good to go. And yet, this is just the beginning. As we'll see in the configure page, there is so much more you can do with your GPT. But first, let's change one of those conversation starters. Instead of just simply asking what is the best social media strategy, let's change that to what is the best social media strategy for the holidays. And well, how the plot thickens. It seems to have changed the wrong question, but that's totally fine, as we'll see in the configure page. So let's head over to the configure page. This is where you can modify additional aspects of your GPT, and you can switch back between the configure page and the conversational builder at any point during the process. So first, we have our logo. If you click your logo, you'll be able to upload your own custom photo, or you can click Use DALL-E to have it generate a new logo. If you'd like to be more specific about what type of image you want generated, you can feel free to go back to the builder and give it more specific prompts there. Interestingly enough, in this case, it actually went back to the first logo we rejected. As I mentioned before, this is in beta, so there's definitely going to be some bugs in the works. Either way, let's move on. You can change the name of your GPT and give it a description that will be shown when someone opens your GPT. Next is the instructions box, which is more so the heart of your GPT. If you expand the instructions pane, you can see that it took all our initial inputs and condensed them into this paragraph that helps it understand what this GPT should do. And the amazing thing about GPTs is you can come in here and further customize this paragraph to your liking, or you can once again go back to the GPT Builder and do it there, and then it'll translate those instructions into here. So for Market Maven, you can see that it will engage users as if it is an integral part of their marketing team, providing personalized and detailed responses. It will approach each interaction with enthusiasm and a team-centric attitude, ensuring users feel supported and valued. The GPT will use a friendly and casual tone to create a comfortable and collaborative environment. It will remember previous interactions within a session to maintain continuity and depth in the conversation, aiming to build a rapport that encourages ongoing engagement and trust. This is pretty wild because I did not even really tell it to add this last part in, but it's there, and you know what? I like it. And let's sweeten the interaction even more. Let's tell it to end every answer with motivational words for the founder. And now for the fun part. Let's take our custom GPT and all its crazy instructions for a test drive. As an e-commerce website, SEO or search engine optimization will be vital to the site's success. So let's ask it for 3 simple SEO steps it recommends. And look at that, it provides some pretty actionable advice, such as optimizing your titles and descriptions, improving your site's loading speed, and creating quality content regularly. Pretty much your SEO bread and butter. And if you look at the last sentence, it actually does end on a pretty motivational note by saying keep pushing forward and your efforts will pay off. Okay, continuing down on the configure page, here we now have our conversation starters. So we either can change them on the create page through the builder, or you can come in here and type them in manually. The knowledge section may look simple, but this is where the power of GPTs really begins to shine. You'll be able to add your own custom knowledge and data to help the GPT give you the most relevant answers to the problem you're solving. You can upload docs, PDFs, and so much more. For example, here's a pretty comprehensive blog post about e-commerce marketing. Let's pretend for a second I'd written this blog myself and no one else in the world had seen it. I exported the blog as a PDF, and now let's bring it back into the GPT Builder as an additional source of knowledge. I can now either enter custom instructions for the GPT to reference the blog on the configure page itself, or I can go back to Builder and do it from there. So let's do just that. Let's tell the builder to always reference at least one suggestion from the knowledge files attached. And it gives us confirmation that the behavior of a GPT has been updated to include references from the knowledge files we've uploaded. So back to configure page and back to instructions, you can now see that it added an additional instruction for itself to always reference at least one suggestion from the attached knowledge files. Continuing on the configure page, there's the capabilities section. The capabilities section allows you to further decide what your GPT can and cannot do. So you can configure your GPT to either have access to web browsing for the latest info, which may be useful in some cases as, say, pulling the latest stock market data. Though sometimes you may actually want to keep that option off if your GPT doesn't need immediate internet access. Turning it off also tends to speed up your GPT, at least for now. DALL-E image generation is whether you'd like to give your GPT the ability to generate images as part of its interactions with users. It currently uses DALL-E 3 if enabled, which is capable of creating truly stunning images. And having the code interpreter enabled allows your GPT to do things like run code and analyze data. I'd personally recommend always keeping this one turned on, as it'll make your GPT that much smarter. Actions allow you to do even crazier things, such as connect your GPT to Zapier and thousands of other apps to pull off some pretty mind-boggling workflows. If you'd like to see an advanced tutorial on actions, please let me know down below. Okay, now let's save and share all our hard work. Head over to Save. Here, you'll be able to publish your GPT only for you, so privately, only for people with the link, or publicly to the future GPT store. So for now, I'm feeling a bit shy about my GPT and I'm going to choose only me, then hit confirm. Once you save, it'll refresh the page and take you directly to your new and shiny GPT. The GPT will now live in the top left corner of your GPT navbar. To make further refinements to your GPT, you can simply click the name in the top left corner and head over to Edit GPT, where it will take you back to the all-familiar builder. And there you have it. You're now able to create your own custom GPTs. If you're struggling to think of a GPT to build, try to think of just one thing in your work life you wish you could automate away and go from there. Personally, I sometimes find it hard to get a video idea or script off the ground, and I'm for sure going to try building an inspiration helper GPT. And remember, it pays to start off simple. You can always go back to your GPTs and add to their knowledge and skills as time goes on. We covered a lot in this tutorial, so feel free to go back in the video to catch any additional tips you may have missed. If you're curious to learn more about the launch of GPTs and the upcoming GPT store, feel free to check out the explainer I have linked down below. And let me know what you plan on building in the comments section. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next one.